Game 1 of the quarterfinals match between Sap Daddy and Canister. Sap Daddy is playing the black-white control deck that has recently been doing well at tournaments. Looking to control the game with multiple board wipes and 1-for-1 removal spells, the deck can win via multiple routes. It has Planeswalkers, Kalidas, Trader of Get, and Secure the Wastes. Canister is playing a Bant Company list, similar to ones we have seen in recent large standard tournaments. Boasting 4 Reflector Mage, 4 Bounding Krasis, and 4 Duskwatch Recruiter, this deck can control all stages of the game with its powerful creatures that also act as tempo and card advantage. Sap Daddy wins the die roll and opts to play first here in Game 1. Leading off the plains, Canister responds with a Prairie Stream, and both players are slow to start, with Canister making the first play in the form of Nissa Vastwood Seer. Sap Daddy has Kalidas, Trader of Get, on turn 4. Canister has a Reflector Mage to bounce it back to hand, while also playing another Prairie Stream. Sap Daddy simply passes their turn 5, but the Shambling Vent holds back both of Canister's creatures, who does nothing but pass themselves. He recasts the Kalidas on turn 6, but Canister has Bounding Krasis at end of turn to tap it down and threaten 7 damage. Sap Daddy uses Grasp of Darkness on the Bounding Krasis to exile it and create a zombie to oppose Nissa, but another Bounding Krasis taps the zombie down before it can block. Canister follows up with a Sylvan Advocate and passes turn. Sap Daddy does nothing on their turn and leaves up an ominous 6 mana with 5 cards in hand. Duskwatch Recruiters the play on Canister's turn 7, but Sap Daddy's end of turn sacrifice of a zombie to give Kalidas +2/+2 can't be a good sign. On turn 8, Sap Daddy plays a devastating Languish, giving him 4 new zombies and killing all but one of Canister's creatures. A follow-up Nissa Vastwood Seer for Canister at least gives them some board presence, but Ob Nixilis Reignited quickly puts an end to that. Zombies attack in, destroying the transformed Nissa, and while Canister has follow-up plays to help stabilize the board, things are still looking rough. A second Languish on Sap Daddy's 10th turn once again puts them largely in the lead. Reflector Mage bounces Kalidas, Trader of Get, but Sap Daddy has the Anguished Unmaking for the 4/5 Sylvan Advocate to keep them ahead in the game. Duskwatch Recruiter meets the same anguished fate, and Canister can do nothing but concede as Sap Daddy has maintained Ob Nixilis Reignited on the battlefield for far too long. Sap Daddy wins Game 1. Canister is on the play here for Game 2, but has an extremely slow start with 2 Evolving Wilds. Sap Daddy uses a Transgress the Mind on his turn 2, but actually whiffs as it sees no cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Canister is first on the board with a turn 3 Sylvan Advocate, while Sap Daddy develops their hand with a Read the Bones. Things progress slowly as Sylvan Advocate continues to peck away, but Bounding Krasis and Response Secure the Wastes seem to liven up the action. 2 of the warrior tokens trade away for Sylvan Advocate, and Bounding Krasis connects for 3, putting Sap Daddy to 13. Shambling Vent is all Sap Daddy wants to do on their turn 5, but an end-of-turn Collected Company from Canister hitting both Nissa Vastwood Seer and Jace Vryn's Prodigy prompts a Grasp of Darkness to take care of the Jace. Bounding Krasis and Nissa Vastwood Seer battle in, dropping Sap Daddy to 7, and when another Bounding Krasis is replayed in response to Transgress the Mind, tapping down Sap Daddy's only blocker, he can do nothing but concede and prepare for Game 3. Sap Daddy is on the play here for Game 3 and leads with Forsaken Sanctuary. Lumbering Falls starts things off for Canister, who is the first on the battlefield with a turn 2 Duskwatch Recruiter. Read the Bones for Sap Daddy on turn 3 hopes to set up a nice hand, but that also means they're taking at least a hit from the Duskwatch Recruiter. Turn 4 Transgress the Mind is countered by Canister's Negate, who also attacks Sap Daddy down to 13 with a transformed Duskwatch Recruiter, inconspicuously passing with 4 mana. Ob Nixilis Reignited on turn 5 takes care of the Kralin Horde Hauler, but the ever-so-scary Collected Company that Canister plays finds another Duskwatch Recruiter and a Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Jace quickly transforms and flashes back the Collected Company, hitting Nissa Vastwood Seer and Bounding Krasis, while the Duskwatch Recruiter from the previous turn takes care of Ob Nixilis' last 2 loyalty. Languish on Sap Daddy's turn 6 leaves nothing but the transformed Jace on Canister's side of the board, but follow-up Sylvan Advocate into Bounding Krasis spells trouble for Sap Daddy, who awakens a land with Ruinous Path while taking care of Jace. With Sap Daddy tapped out, Lumbering Falls is animated and together with Sylvan Advocate and Bounding Krasis, drops Sap Daddy to 1 life. Soren, Grim Nemesis, still leaves things looking rather grim for Sap Daddy, who concedes as he is simply dead on board. Canister wins their quarterfinals match 2-1.